Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's it going, everybody? My name is Combo, and as you can see in front of us here, we have the ultimate, objective, peer-reviewed, final determining the finals YouTuber tier list. Now you might be saying, Combo, how are you qualified to make those determinations? Well, source? I said so. Also, it came to me in a dream. So, at the end of the day, right, understand that these rankings that I do here will probably determine the entire career of everybody on this list. So I'm going to be as objective as possible, knowing that my opinion is, of course, the only one that is correct. But with that said, I'm going to quit talking about that kind of stuff. I think I've set my credentials on the table. You can review that piece of paper. I brought handouts for everyone. Starting at the very bottom of the tier list, right, we have deadweight. These people, they might need a little kick in the right direction. And we're gonna give that to them today. Maybe they wronged me. Maybe I just don't like their face. I don't really know, man. But that's deadweight. Moving on to there, we have Creaky Bones. Now, Creaky Bones, it's very, very important to me. I think Creaky Bones, you have the potential to be great. You have the potential to do amazing things in this world. But something's holding you back. I'm just not sure what that is, and we'll talk about when we get there. Next up, we have Bone Chiller, right? These guys are challenging my content, right? They have some really good stuff. They're really good at the game. They do everything right. They do everything, but it goes back to the thing of just, I don't know, man. Maybe they need that extra push, or something's keeping them out of the next two tiers. But you know, at the end of the day, I mean, they're doing something right because they're scaring me. They're challenging my authority, and we can't have that. Next up, we have Supreme Skeleton. These are the homies, right? These are the people who are doing it right. They're in the Skeleton Club. They're not quite to the Skeletal Sovereign level, but these people, they're doing something right, or maybe they're paying me off. They might work for me. Hint, hint, who knows who that could possibly be, but I don't know, man. And at the very top, we have Skeletal Sovereign. Now, of course, I didn't do an S+ tier because I would, of course, stick myself in that spot, but understand, right? Skeletal Sovereign, they are the king of this community, and their rule shall be unquestioned by none. So, with that said, we're gonna quit yapping in the intro here, and let's talk tier list. So at the very start, we have our friend Andrewstown. Now, Andrewstown has been making MGL videos since the game came out, I want to say. His sense of humor is spontaneous and funny, and I just love his personality. You can tell that he is playing this game to have a good time. He has a really good group of friends that he plays with very often. I think at the end of the day, right, Andrewstown really exemplifies the positive side of the finals community. You know, that kind of casual player base that comes home after a long day. They just want to hang out with their homies and, you know, just do dumb shit, right? Really embrace the chaotic aspect of the game show atmosphere that we have in the finals. But that's kind of where I see Andrewstown right now. If I were to rank him on this beautiful tier list here, has he done anything to wrong me in the past? I think one time I was playing MGL. I did an MGL video and he didn't comment on it. And I need that affirming, you know, nature in my life. If somebody doesn't tell me I'm doing a good job, I'm gonna go into a mental breakdown. So for that reason, we're gonna stick Andrew in Bone Chiller. Very good content. All right, next up we have Concrete Kisser. You guys may not know who this is. He actually just recently started making videos. I actually featured in a gameplay with him with the Chonk not too long ago. He's a younger guy. He's just trying to get his toes wet in the YouTube community. He has a really good personality, just very toxic positivity. Not toxic positivity, that's a horrible way to say it. Just infectious positivity. He's always smiling. He always has something nice to say. All of his gameplay, like he's a variety kind of YouTuber. So in the final scene, that is, he doesn't just necessarily do one thing, kind of like I do on my channel. I would highly recommend checking this guy out. Give him some support. He just started making videos and he's already getting like upwards of 1,000 views. So I want to give a huge congratulations to Concrete Kisser. And like I said, man, his content, he does play light. So if you don't like light, you probably won't like his stuff. But at the end of the day, man, really think he's on the right track. And, you know, it took me 8 years to get where I'm at, and he's already doing a fantastic job. However, right, do you think I'm going to put him in Skeleton Supreme? Because his name is Concrete Kisser. His name should have been Calcium Kisser. If his name was Calcium Kisser, oh, he would have been in Supreme Skeleton. But because it's concrete, nobody likes concrete. You can't make a skeleton out of concrete. We got to stick him in Creaky Bones, man. I'm sorry. The name kind of knocked you down. Next up, we have Ronin. Now, Ronin is I want to say the most viewed finals creator. He does a lot of very insightful things in terms of competitive scene, gameplays, tips, guides, things of that nature. He seems like a pretty chill dude. If you want, you can catch him on YouTube streaming a lot. I like that he gets on there, he interacts with chat, and most importantly, you know, and I think this is really important for anybody who makes kind of gameplay or guide videos, he puts his money where his mouth is. You can tell he's a talented player, he knows what he's doing, he sometimes plays for the team, other times he'll play with people on stream, but I would say overall definitely leans more to the competitive side of the finals. I have to tell you guys a story about Ronin though, because this is super funny. I'm gonna stick him in Supreme Skeleton just because he's one of the YouTubers, like we've never actually talked face to face, but this one is just so funny. So I hopped into one of his streams, right? And I saw him playing a game, and dude, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what it is about, maybe it's the military that did it to me, but the way I greet people is a little outside the norm. So usually when people say hi to somebody, they'll say, "Hey man, how's it going?" That's not exactly what I do. So I walk in and I'm like, damn, he makes good content and he's handsome, because he had the face cam on, and he looks at the camera and he goes, hi Calm. It was the most awkward thing I've ever experienced in my life, and I just remember sitting there like, oh shit, well, maybe I need to read the room. But that shit just fucking makes me laugh to this day. But Ronin makes some great content. I would put you in Skeletal Sovereign, but I may or may not have cried in the bathroom alone in the dark after that. But all things said, Ronin, definitely a Supreme Skeleton for the memory alone. All right, next up we have Swift Cheetah. Now this guy makes a lot of top 500 guides, things like that. He likes the competitive side of things, right? I can tell, obviously, too, he's passionate about his content. He has a lot of sub-goals in mind, things like that. You can tell he's really trying to turn this into a full-time kind of gig if the opportunity comes. He is a fellow light player. He was also one of the first people, similar to myself, to adopt the 93R before people were saying it was meta, which is really neat. 93 users rise up. Actually don't, so Embark doesn't nerf it again. But overall, man, makes some great content. However, man, he made a video similar to mine. His was 1 diamond versus 2 platinums. And back in the day, I did two sweats versus 4 people of various ranks, and his got double the views mine did. That hurt my feelings, and I'm just never gonna recover. Like I don't know, man. I'm still, I think about it every day. So for that reason, man, you're going in creaky bones. I think you can understand. I'd say that's pretty reasonable. But yeah, that's where we're putting Swift Cheetah. Okay, next up we have Aazo. We have the goo guy, the guy who shoots the goo gun with the deagles. Now, I really like his content because he not only does the competitive thing, but he competes with something that isn't traditionally seen as meta, that being the goo gun, which I really respect. I definitely resonate with that, being somebody who plays sniper. You can argue that deagles and sniper are kind of in that. I mean, I think deagles are definitely better than sniper, but you can argue that they're not quite like the top of S. But like if you take the time to learn them, they can be super powerful. So I respect that he's kind of doubling down on that. I mean, I do the same thing when I use dash with sniper. Obviously, dash is still OP, but I gotta say, man, this is another situation of combo not reading the room. Similar thing, man. I'm so fucking bad at this. I joined one of his streams one time, and I joined the chat and I was like, oh my god, it's the goo guy. He's really. I basically made that fucking stupid meme where I was like, my favorite part of Aazo streams is when he said, oh boy, I'm gooing really hard right now. And then he wiped the whole team. And I remember he looked at my content, or not my content, my comment in disgust. And he would just said, oh, hi, Calm. So I think I just need to read the room, man. I'm going to be honest. But Aazo, I said your name wrong for about a year. I used to call him Ezeco because I'm dyslexic. But yeah, man, you're going in Bone Chiller because, yeah, same thing. I think I cried in the corner for a while. All right, next up we have CueZeRiot. This guy makes some awesome Riot Shield gameplay. He's a big melee guy. Of course, he was not a fan of the most recent Riot Shield nerf, which is understandable, but I love his theming. I love his personality. I love his gameplay. He's always open for discussion, which I'm a big fan of. Like, in the comment section, he's sure to respond to everybody. He doesn't respond aggressively, and, you know, stuff like that is just super happy to me. The only thing that's going to knock him down into, we'll say Bone Chiller, is because he made a video where he forced his parents to play the finals, and they were actually better than me at the game, which very much hurt my feelings. So, Q's, I'm sorry, I think you understand. Gotta stick you in Bone Chiller, man. All right, next up we have Arddrake. I'm sorry, dude. You guys gotta give me some leeway when it comes to pronouncing these names. This guy, I love it, man. He makes content like we've done in the past, just ranting about certain things in the finals, but not just complaining, right? He gives solutions. He does a detailed analysis. Like, he's throwing in some charts and shit. This guy makes some really good content. However, man, I would say go check him out. Except for the fact that he said something so distasteful, something that makes me want to, oh, dude, I'm gonna go into cardiac arrest, even though I don't have a heart. He said that the sniper has too good of hip fire. Let me tell you, if you nerf my sniper hip fire, Arddrake, man, if you nerf my sniper hip fire, nothing's really gonna happen. I'm gonna be kind of sad, but I'll blame you if it happens. So creaky bones for Arddrake. Get away from my sniper. All right, next up we have Rogue Prophet. Now this guy, if you don't know who he is, he's another one. He does kind of tips, he does guides, he does more analytical things of that nature. I love his personality. I don't want to put stuff out there. He made a video about it. He was going through some medical issues, which is something I can very much relate to, just having gone through an operation myself. And I know the stress that I can put on, you know, creating content, but man, he's still out there doing it. I really respect the grind. You can tell that he is a very talented player as well. This is the amount, what is it, the World Tour cash out, like world record holder is what he has on his channel, which is absolutely fantastic. Although, man, I gotta say, there's only room for one cripple in this community. So, dude, I gotta stick you in Bone Chiller. If you know, had you just not been crippled like me, like there's only room for one, I'd have stuck you in Skeletal Sovereign, man. But for that reason, I gotta stick you in Bone Chiller. Next up, we have I don't know who this is. Let me check my notes. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure who this is. If you guys want to leave a comment about where this guy would be, feel free to do that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna stick him in dead weight for now, just because we don't know where to put him. But if you guys would, give me some comments what you think about that guy and where you think where he belongs on the list. I gotta say though, he's pretty damn handsome. All right, next up we have the Broadcaster, right? Mr. Neon Guts, and we have played against this guy so many times on stream, and I love his videos. I love his personality. I love the broadcaster kind of character he plays. You can tell he puts a lot of work into his streams. This guy, I thought I was the one who had like uploaded the most videos on this game when it comes to like shorts and all that. Dude, this guy's got me. This guy's got my ass kicked in that regard. You can tell he streams every day. He does a lot of fantastic stuff. And the one thing I really want to point out is he put out, I think it was a community post talking about, hey Neon, why don't you play ranked? Why do you only play World Tour? And he's like, I just want to hang out. I want to have a good time. I'm going to play with my community, and I want to put content that I want to make out there. And he talked about too how when he's doing World Tour, he has more time to interact. It doesn't take away from the content. And I got to say, man, it really, really resonated with me. A ton, because that's exactly my philosophy too. The only reason I played ranked last season is because there was a diamond sniper, and thanks to fellow YouTuber Tezz, he's more of a streamer. I should probably put him on this list, but we hit diamond in 2 days, and then I was out of there as soon as I could. So for those reasons, man, the only negative thing I have to say about Yellow, or I almost called him Yellow Jacket. He's wearing a yellow shirt. We'll get to Yellow Jacket. This guy, he uses the double barrel, man, and I use the sniper. What does that tell you, man? It's just double barrel in this economy, long range meta. I'm just kidding, dude. This might just be. Oh, dude, he might be our first Skeletal Sovereign. I don't know, man. I think we're gonna have to do it, man. I feel like if there were to be a face of the more casual, have fun community, which I very much resonate with, dude, it's gotta be this guy. But man, he uses the double barrel. There's only room for one shotgun on the light, and that's the sniper. If you know, you know. All right, next up we have Arty, Mr. IRL, the competitive face of broadcasting in the finals. This guy makes some excellent content. Once again, if you are interested in the competitive scene, this is your guy to look into. Of course, I'll be honest, I haven't watched a ton of his content. I saw a couple of his videos talking about map analyses, which were like super detailed, and I was a huge fan. However, he is making the sweats better at the game, and we can't have that, so he's got to go in Bone Chiller, man. So I'm sorry, Arty, you make great content, but I'm sure you understand. All right, next up we have Fixie, and this guy at this point, I'll be honest, man, I don't know whether Fixie is an Embark employee or if he makes the finals content. Like, even his logo kind of matches the finals one. But we love Fixie, man. He does a lot of streams with Oscar and stuff. He's good at interacting with the community, things of that nature. He hasn't uploaded in a while, unless he streams. I could be wrong on that. I always thought his sense of humor was pretty infectious, and he does some great things. However, man, back in the day, man, I made a video talking about how the finals wasn't doing great, and he put my thumbnail in a video saying that I was dooming, and my video wasn't even about dooming. It was a positive one. That was before I started dooming. So for all those reasons, I'm gonna stick Fixie in Bone Chiller. Once again, I've yet to recover from the trauma that caused me. Next up, we have the green screen gamer guy. This guy is so wholesome. Like, I tuned into one of his streams the other day. I was just lurking. I didn't, like, comment or anything. I also see this guy in my comment section a bunch. He has some really insightful takes. Like, when I see a comment from the green screen gamer guy, I put on my reading glasses and shit gets serious, because I know there's about to be a discussion to be had. But seriously, man, this guy makes some great content. He's talented at the game. I saw him playing Jenga on stream while playing the finals, which is a level of multitasking I will never achieve. The only complaint that I have, right? The only complaint is, dude, I don't really know if I have any complaints with this guy. I mean, at the end of the day, it's obviously not a panda. Like, that's a guy. If it's a guy, then why is it a panda as his profile pic? Honestly, that's kind of false advertising when you think about it. So all things considered, dude, I gotta put you in creaky bones, because that's not a guy. That's obviously a panda. So, all right, next up we have Young. I would wager to say that Young maybe makes some of the highest quality edited content in the finals community. He always has some pretty good takes on everything that he says. I like his kind of meme style, like very much like Zoomer humor kind of stuff he does in his videos. And you can tell that he's passionate. I want to say he started coaching as well. I could be wrong. I'll be honest, I haven't seen his stuff in a while, but like when the game was first coming out, he was one of my go-to guys, not only for news, but for gameplays and just talking about things that were happening in the game, which is fantastic. The only thing he did that I'm just heated, I'm furious. Back in the day, man, I made a video talking about the advertising in the finals. And you know what this guy did? He refuted me with facts and evidence. And this is the internet, okay? Facts and evidence? Are you kidding me? It's about my opinion. I live in my echo chamber, and everything I say is right. So for those reasons, man, I gotta put you in Bone Chiller. No, I'm gonna put you in Supreme Skeleton. I'm gonna put you there just because I like your logo. It's very nice. Very nice yellow. All right, next up we have the official finals YouTube channel. And I just gotta say, man, the finals, who plays that game? Why would you play the finals? Like, you can play Call of Duty exists, man. Why would you play the finals and you can play fucking Call of Duty, man? That's an insane take right there. I just want to say that I'm gonna have to put this in deadweight, because once I commented hi on a stream when Oscar was streaming and he didn't respond to me immediately, and that's really lame. Developers don't even care about their fans, so for that reason, man, I gotta put it in deadweight. I don't know why you'd ever play this game. Next up, we have Hazed and Confused. This guy is like, this is so funny. I feel like I know this guy because like we've commented on each other's videos a lot. I don't know if he feels the same way. The combo being parasocial, that MP4. We've commented on each other's videos a ton. I love his content. I feel like what he does is like, I think if he were to do like finals kind of introduction to like advanced tier, I feel like the stuff I do, like when I make my videos, the intent behind like the key task, purpose, end state, right, of my videos. Key tasks are to get people the information quick. The purpose is to do it in a somewhat short manner, and the end state is that they improve gradually. I feel like Hazed and Confused, his stuff is like, once you've seen mine, his is the more like, hey, we're gonna break this weapon down stat for stat. Here's a training regime. Like his is like, once you've figured out the weapon, watch his guides, and he does fantastic stuff in that regard. Although I gotta say, man, his profile pic, robots scare me. I think about it every day, how we are simply subservient to our AI overlords. So looking at his profile pic, man, I don't know, that kind of scares me, really hits on an internal fear of mine. But outside of that, man, I don't really have much. I think I got to put him in the sovereign tier. So, you know, good for him. All hail ChatGPT. Next up, we have Sir Yellowjacket. You guys might know who this guy is. He's the sword guy. He died. Did you guys know that? Sir Yellowjacket actually died, and he came back to life, essentially the second coming of Finals Jesus. Even though I actually played against a dude in game once who was named Finals Jesus, but this is the second coming of that. Yellowjacket, once again, ever since this game came out, like so for example, I didn't play a lot of sword. So if I was ever going to talk about sword things in the game, his channel was the first that I came to. Him and I actually did a podcast that no longer exists anymore because, yeah, I think it was something with the audio or something like that. But he makes some fantastic stuff. He's back. You should go check him out, man. After the sword buff, he's doing cool things. Although I gotta say, man, I gotta stick Yellowjacket. I gotta stick him in Creaky Bones, because during that podcast that is now defunct, I said that sword was better than dagger, and he said, "Combo, are you kidding me?" And I don't know, man. It just struck a nerve. You know, something changed in me, and yeah, man, I got to stick in Creaky Bones. I can't believe the level of disrespect that you could possibly disagree with me. So for that reason, Creaky Bones for Yellow Jacket. Okay, next up we have Jinko. And Jinko, I got to say, like, I love Jinko's content. Other than the fact that Jinko's been using Sniper lately, all right, I just got to say, that's my turf. You can't touch that. The weapon was specifically designed for me. If you actually open the game files of the Sniper, break the weapon apart, look inside the barrel on the top left corner, it says in fine print, designed for calms and combos. So Jinko, back to the riot shield, please. Let's get some priorities straight here. But no, I'm serious. Jokes aside, man, I love Jinko's content because it's unique. Nothing else, no other finals YouTuber does what Jinko does. You have skin spotlights, you have mostly the glitches and stuff is what I think of when I think of Jinko. And also just, I'm sorry, man, the accent's fantastic. Like, Jinko's videos just make me smile. Just, you can tell, just a happy guy. Also, I gotta say a huge congratulations for being able to take a break from working and pursue content creation full time. I really respect that, man. That is a big step and something a lot of people, including myself, it takes a lot of courage. I don't know if I could do it. So for those reasons, man, other than the Sniper, you know, the Sniper, man, I'm gonna do that Sniper. I don't know. The Sniper might, fuck it, dude. Sovereign. We got to do it, man. We got to do it. All right, next up we have Appoh or Appoh or name. Yes, pronunciation is hard. English is my first language, I promise. He makes a lot of more pro kind of gameplay stuff. Another reason I respect Mr. Appoh here is because he's the bow guy, right? We know him as the bow guy. Combo's the sniper guy, not Jinko, it's me. And Appoh does the bow stuff in your kind of pro leagues, those kind of settings. I love his demeanor. Also, can we talk about, like, dude, I'm gonna be so honest. I'm afraid to say anything about this man because when I saw his face reveal, I was shocked. I was like not expecting a fucking lumberjack, like a brawny Viking warrior, to be playing the finals. But dude, he pulls it off, and just he stays calm. He's collected. He seems very polite. I really don't have anything negative to say other than the fact that sniper supremacy, bow users suck. Bone chiller. That's all I gotta say. All right, next up we have Sanguine, Mr. Repeater. Now, Sanguine, I remember when he first started making videos, it was around the time I was starting to get kind of serious in it as well. And I felt like he was really an inspiration, I think, in kind of how I started designing some of my gameplay videos. And also that I learned that, like, if you have a good enough personality and your gameplay is good enough, and this is not a shot, I mean this seriously, he really gives the people a steady flow of content. He's making sure videos are coming out consistently. His gameplay speaks for itself. He doesn't have to do a ton of editing or anything crazy. His personality and his gameplay is what people are there for. He has capitalized on that audience, and once again, he just seems like a very kind guy. I saw after he hit his most recent sub goal, he put out a super long community post just thanking everybody, and you can tell by the way it was written, he really meant it. So, Sanguine, fantastic stuff. Although I gotta say, man, you did pass me in subscribers, and my fragile ego cannot handle that, man. So I gotta put you in Bone Chiller. I think you understand. Next up, we have Truce. We have the other MGL guy. Now, Truce and Andrewstown. These guys right here, all right? For the longest time, I cannot lie to you, I did get them mixed up. I feel really bad. They're both MGL guys, and I feel like, you know, there's a saying, you know, this town ain't big enough for the two of us, but, like, these two together, like, they did, like, a 1v1 tournament not too long ago. Some of the most wholesome people in the world. Truce just seems like, once again, just a beacon of positivity, embracing the fact that he knows the weapon that he uses, you know, is not like meta, probably won't be meta until after the majors, if we're being honest, until it gets a much needed buff or rework. But at the end of the day, man, I love the content that Truce makes. I love his personality. I really don't have much negative to say other than the fact that if I put him above Andrews or below, I'm picking a side. So realistically, the only place I can put him is... All right, next up we have the Chonk Plays. Now this guy here, this is one of the most like negative guys I've ever met in my life. The Chonk is always upset. He's never smiling. He's never happy. Jokes aside, when I first started watching the Chonk, man, I remember this so vividly. I remember seeing his thumbnail, and it was a caricature of himself with just the most caked up character, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I click on the video and he starts screeching and screaming and just laughing at everything. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy? And then he invites me to do a gameplay with him. And we talk in a party and I'm like, this guy's pretty cool. I fucking love this guy. So the Chonk, man, the only negative thing I have to say is that he started dating my editor behind my back. And that's really upsetting because, you know, we had something special and the Chonk had to interject into it, man. But I'll be honest, man, I think I gotta make him a skeletal sovereign. The Chonk is just, he's just that guy. He's just a wholesome guy. We're officially married now, if you didn't know. You can leave the wedding present. I'll put a PO box in the description. But yeah, man, Chonk, pretty cool guy. All right, next up we have LukeOnSteam. He's probably editing this video, so I think regardless of what I do, if I put him in any tier other than Skeletal Sovereign, he's just gonna edit the video and put himself in S tier, because that's what he does, man. I'm gonna put him in deadweight personally because I made a tier list video, right? I made a tier list video, and I said, Luke, you know, before we get into the tier list, right? I want to say this guy, at the end of the day, one thing this guy does absolutely fantastically, and why you should go check him out. This is the most to the point, honest finals community creator that I've seen. If he has an opinion, if he believes it, he's going to tell you, he's going to back it up, and he is willing to have a conversation. That's the most important thing, right? If you talk to LukeOnSteam, he's willing to have a conversation, and he's willing to debate something other than just, nah, my opinion's right, yours is wrong, which I think is fantastic. So for all those reasons, man, Luke, fantastic content. Gonna have to stick him in deadweight because he disagreed with me on my tier list. So yeah, you said that the BFR Titan was S tier. I said it was A tier. How dare you disagree with me? You're fired. Next up, we have Mr. Hyperborean, Mr. Alien guy, Mr. Makes videos about the finals. Also very similar to Luke in the regard that if Hyper feels a certain type of way, he's gonna tell you. Don't you worry about it. He's gonna tell you what's going on there. I love his content. I think he's another voice in the community for the casual audience above all, which I think is really cool. Also, dude, I want to say congratulations. Hyper made a fantastic video that just passed 50K views, which is insane, man. Huge, huge milestone. Talking about, you can tell the research he did on this video, perhaps one of the most researched videos in the history of the finals, talking about what weapons you can own in real life, which is insane. Although I will say, man, kind of heartbreaking that this guy's telling me I can't own a minigun in real life. He said you're not going to get it, and that's really discouraging because I will find a way. I'm going to find a way to own one. And Hyper, you're just hating. You just don't have faith in me. So for that reason, man, I'll stick you in Skeletal or Supreme Skeleton, but I will own a minigun, and you can't do anything about it. Next up, we have Gunbuck. I'll be honest, man, out of everybody on this list, I tried to say something negative about this guy, even in like a comedic sense. I really can't. This is the most wholesome finals. I gotta stick him in the top list. Gunbuck is the most wholesome finals creator. Like, he's just in this game. He's a dad. He has a wife. He plays games with his wife. The only reason he made a channel, he told me, is because his kids were like, Dad, you're really cool. You should do this. He wanted to bond with his kids, so he made the channel. And the amount of work this guy puts into his stuff, like his stream setup, his history, he has a lot of good advice. Just a super wholesome guy. If you have not checked out Gunbuck, please do. Even in like a comedic sense, obviously this video is just to fuck around and have a good time. I have nothing negative to say about Gunbuck. Just actually, he was the first person I actually collabed with, like on stream, and I don't think I could have chose a better guy. There's a reason that if you collab, usually your first collab is going to be Gunbuck. Like, he is actually just the finals dad. He takes people under his wing, introduces them into the community, just a super wholesome guy. So for that reason, man, I gotta stick him in S tier, or Skeletal Sovereign, we shall say. All right, next up we got Bshots. This guy did one of the fucking coolest challenges I've ever seen in the finals community, which was making it all the way to Diamond without firing a bullet. Bro he did a pacifist run in ranked and made it to Diamond. That's insane, man. I hope I'm not mixing that up. At a minimum, though, this guy right here does some cool stuff with the Riot Shield. I think Jinko would appreciate that for sure. Once again, just a super positive guy. I don't think you could make up anything negative about Bshots if you wanted to. He even did a charity live stream where he like raised a bunch of money, did 24 hours. The dedication is insane. Although I do have to put him in Supreme Skeleton because the charity he donated to wasn't my bank account. Had the charity been for Skeletons in Need, that's my nonprofit organization, I could have put him in Skeletal Sovereign, but for that reason, we gotta put him in Supreme Skeleton. All right, next up we have Mr. Who in God's Name, or Mr. PP Meow Meow. This guy makes some funny stuff. Another personality, just so fun. It's hard not to just be in a good mood with this guy around. He's always talking to his community. Once again, you can tell just a super wholesome guy. Has some good takes. I like his approach to content creation, where he does commentary outside of the final sphere. Like, he'll talk about things that are actually happening in the community and inside of gaming as a whole, which I think is really cool because a lot of people you see commenting like, "Oh, I didn't know this was going on." So keep doing that channel, my friend. The only thing I have to say is his name is PP Meow Meow. He kind of smells like pee, dude. That's kind of gross. I gotta put you in bone chiller, dude. Take a shower. Come on, you smell like pee. All right, next up we have the Finals Central. You got two guys in here making some esports content, and I gotta say, man, these guys really, I think, are like the face of the competitive scene. A lot of what we see in the comp scene for the finals would not exist without these guys. They're fantastic commentators. They've commented on my videos before. They just seem like the most wholesome guys ever. Like, you can tell they're passionate. They're literally here, like, taking up a ton of their free time. Like, I don't think these guys get enough credit for how much effort they put into the pro scene, and like they're almost like they do like stat tracking. They know people by name. Like, this shit is just so cool, man. I love what they're doing. I love when the community takes it upon themselves to kind of grow that esports community. I think that's really cool. The only downside, man, you didn't invite me. I understand if you invited me and my sniper to esports, the entire thing would fall apart because there would be no competition. So I understand, of course. But seriously, man, I can't even say that shit with a straight face. Okay. Fantastic content, man. I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll stick you in Supreme Skeleton. And finally, we have Mr. Mount Skew. This guy here makes some absolutely hilarious content. I love his attitude, his kind of like, people call him Unk. I don't know why. Dude, he looks younger than I do, and he's like older than me. It's kind of crazy, man. He makes some fantastic content. Also, another one thing I love that Skew does is this guy hosts so many tournaments. You guys may not know that. Go check out his content. Go check out his tournaments, because he hosts them all by himself. He commentates them by himself, and like, he actually rewards the people who do it. He doesn't. I really think, like, if you're scared to really jump into the competitive scene and you want to hop in there and kind of get your name out there, show off your skills, this is the guy to talk to, man. Super supportive guy, does fantastic content. The only thing I have to knock him for, man, is like, he kind of looks scared in his thumbnails. Like, he always looks kind of spooked, man. Looks like somebody's about to like beat him up, and I'm like, dude, it's okay. It's just a thumbnail, man. So we'll put him in. We'll put him in Supreme Skeleton right here, man. Anyways, everyone, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Understand that, like, this video is obviously a joke. Like, here, this is how I actually feel. I'm not kidding when I say this. Every single content creator I put in this video are people that I actually watch, and I think make fantastic stuff for the game. I don't think I could ever actually choose like one over the other. I think from the bottom of my heart, and I mean this, I've been in a lot of competitive spheres. For those who don't know me, right, I played Destiny 2 at like the highest competitive level multiple times. This community is just so welcoming, so kind, and we're gonna keep this one. We'll keep these two down here. But just genuinely, everybody in this community, I want to say a big thank you for not only allowing me to, this is to you, the viewer, and maybe any of these guys watching, for allowing me to kind of live my dream and meet some of the coolest people I've ever met, just in general. So a huge thank you. And this is kind of like, once again, just for fun, please don't take this seriously, a big love letter to the finals community and the content we make. We may not be big, right? But the spirit and the soul in this community is unmatched and unlike anything I've ever seen. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, the finals. Thank you, Embark. And thank you to all these wonderful people who are making content for our favorite game. So this has been Combo. Thank you so much for coming and watching. Stay home, stay safe, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Later.